Hey you, does your current job not fill enough of your life with soul-crushing misery? Have you ever stopped to consider, man, I wish I could get into a line of work that involves me wasting more time away from home and friends, but it would have to pay infinity dollars for the experience? I have to say it's a very particular set of tastes, but I'm the weirdo who genuinely likes playing tank and support roles, so I'm not here to judge. I'd also say that sounds like you're in the market for an MMORPG, which is good because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Making an MMORPG is easy, since it requires literally less effort than the last two genres we covered. No one actually expects you to innovate past the WoW standard of gameplay. So steal the most generic Tolkien stereotypes you can bring together, and make sure to leave out all that Jesus and patriotism stuff that accompany Tolkien's work, because our primary market's going to be East Asian countries and 13-year-olds with money burning a hole in their pockets. Making a character creator is as easy as going through the process of making one for yourself, as you start with the obvious stuff like species. Species should include, but never exceed, humans, who are neither good nor bad at anything, but called some kind of dumb fantasy name. Elves for sissy magic users, dwarves for your tanks, some kind of dragon hybrid for the furries, and the obligatory fan service race, which you'll slap all over your ads that show up in the sides and bottoms of web pages when viewed by morons who don't know what ad block is. If the above isn't all-encompassing, you should also pick a class, so just steal them from early D&D. Fighter, mage, cleric, thief, and so on. No one more than that. Gotta save room for those sweet expansion packs so you can fleece your players for monthly server maintenance fees, in addition to the price of the game. Never mind that server maintenance is just ripping out old HDDs and popping in new ones, and that HDDs are dirt cheap. You need to fleece these fools for gold like your name was Jason. That's a smart joke, everybody. Your art style should revolve around the most generic mono-themes you can steal assets for, preferably in the Unity engine, since that won't make it look like unabashed garbage or anything. For music, just hit royalty-free music websites, because everyone's just gonna put up YouTube in the background when they play it anyway, so forget it. We got money to earn and gameplay to digest, so let's see what your players can expect. Remember, making each class distinct is important, as all members of a given party will operate like different members of a family unit. For example, DPS rolls with a family dog. They get excited easily and rush into situations without regard for life or limb, usually making way more noise than they've earned any right to make. They think they're the leader in the party since they insist on being front and center of every encounter, even though they are not. Tank rolls are the Asian helicopter moms. They feel the need to live vicariously through their DPS compatriots because the damage they dish out is, frankly, paltry, and anytime the situation isn't about them, they make it about them somehow. They believe they're the leaders of the party, even though they obviously rarely have control over the most immediate of threats, let alone the entire party of sociopaths. Support roles are the stern fathers. They can't immediately intervene on the behalves of the above roles no matter how much they want to, so they stand back and grant all the help they can muster and, at best, will be largely ignored despite the fact that their movements will dictate the pace, flow, and results of combat above any other. They will only be recognized for what they do when they fail at their task, which make this metaphor hit a little bit too close to home for most. Just remember, supports who aren't active in their party are every raid boss's future wingman. Don't come crying to me when your DPS Dateru comes home dating one of those degenerate dragon people. Anyways, the pacing of the game is paramount, since making an end of an MMORPG is essentially illegal, so you need to make it so it's easy to get to somewhere between levels 30 to maybe 70 before you just start scaling things on a logarithmic basis. For those who don't math good, your first 3 level up should happen more or less instantly upon completion of the tutorial, and players should be able to make good progress over the next few dozen levels as they play with their friends and make larger parties for stronger instances. However, you're not going to be wringing any monthly server fees out of these plebs if you make it that easy on them, so around maybe level 40-ish or so, just start slapping higher multiplier values on XP you're required to level up to the point where solar eclipses happen with greater regularity than the level up chime. By the time the players hit this wall, they'll make one of 3 choices: that they'll either persist through the grind because the game is literally all they have outside of work now, they will rage quit, and hopefully forget to cancel their credit card subscription to the game with some luck, or they'll resort to the premium cash shop. For some paltry sum between $1 and infinity dollars, your players can buy some kind of in-game premium currency, as mentioned in my gacha explanation. In fact, the comparisons here are apt, too, as morally dubious and really is for trying to wrench even more money out of your players for something they can more or less rest assured you aren't going to upgrade meaningfully until Halley's Comet passes through the solar system again. However, for some amount of this premium currency, they should be allowed super powerful weapons and armors that completely invalidate any sense of pacing until the low 70s level range. This will help them play further into the mindless grind until they are playing for at least a few months' worth of fees at a time. Once hopelessly addicted, they'll slug through the remaining 30 levels or so of grind, ideally. All other premium currency items should be cosmetics, preferably cosmetics with expiration dates, so you can fleece them for their fashionista tendencies repeatedly. Do you have any pengs that might make you think this is not exactly on the level? Hey, you're right, you're really getting the hang of modern game design. After that, it's all about expansion packs. The beauty of this is that not only have they paid for the base game and the monthly fees, but now they get to buy the game all over again. Slap on a few extra islands and some quests to populate them, and sometimes raise the level cap a little. The design is the easy part. The name is where you'll likely struggle. However, using our advanced scientific algorithms, we have deduced that the ideal title should follow the template of adjective, noun, adjective, plus or minus a definitive article and a couple of ofs. Do you not know what any of those things are? That probably means you have the right IQ level to actively make MMOs, or play them. Oh yeah, every second expansion pack you need to add an additional class, preferably one that invalidates the classes of an earlier build, so as to subtly encourage making new characters. But the prereqs for getting these should be difficult to the point of patent absurdity. After all, you can't class change into a swashbuckler until you have that level 85 pirate. Totally different things. Congrats, you're now a soulless monster who cares not for their fellow man. You are now a living example of gaining the world and losing your soul. I hope the Faustian bargain was worth it. You're welcome.